Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. On today's podcast, we're going to answer one simple question that I got from one of my favorite websites to answer questions, website that is specifically designed to ask and answer questions, Quora. So this question, a lot of people ask me this question, a lot of people ask themselves this question, and I definitely ask myself this question very often because of my work, because of my clients, because I'm always studying, the field of nutrition, of exercise, of body weight management, of redesigning ourselves and looking exactly the way we want to look, be as lean or as curvy or muscly as we want to be. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of cool that using our current knowledge about nutrition, about fitness, about lifestyle, we can literally look the way we want. Of course, we have certain limitations, like, how tall you are or certain features, your bone structure. We can't really edit this yet, and probably will not be able for quite some time. Know that we should also embrace our difference, but also get the best out of ourselves, and again, look exactly how we want to look. So the question is, how can I lose weight without counting calories and heavy workouts? Like, a lot of you guys probably are not athletes. I don't even consider myself an athlete, even though I exercise every day, but I don't do some hardcore workouts. I don't compete anymore at the moment, and so I consider myself an active person, but not an athlete. And so I don't like these days to have super heavy and super intense and super hard workouts, because I also need my energy for my work and for content creation and for living my life, manage my life, manage everything that I gotta do, that we all gotta do, right? So I also don't find it, fun to count everything, even though nutrition is my profession, it's my passion. I don't like to feel like I have to count calories to maintain weight or lose weight, and so I usually find some other ways to manage my weight, and I find it helps my clients much better to have other ways of managing their nutrition, besides counting, because even using an app, it's quite a lot of work, and you always have to think about it, kind of, and be a little bit obsessive about your nutrition. So how do you lose weight without having to count things? And how to manage your weight also through nutrition. And it's not that difficult, guys, not at all. Unless you have some metabolic issue, that's another story. So at first you will have to fix that. Like if you have diabetes, if you have metabolic syndrome, then you gotta fix that before having more regular weight management and weight loss strategy that I'm going to talk to you about today. But for most of us, for regular people who are trying to maintain weight or to lose weight without counting calories, so this is my answer. This is my best guide that works for so many people that I worked with, and it works for me. So what do you do? Well, first and foremost, make sure that you sleep enough, and enough meaning at least at the very least 7 to 8 hours. Like 7 is the very least, 8 hours is ideal, because if you don't be prepared to carry a couple of pounds of extra weight, extra fat, or extra water, because also your body is in a state of stress, and your inflammation is increased when you don't get enough sleep. And so we don't know all the mechanisms, but it is proven that people who don't sleep enough on a regular basis have more fat, especially visceral fat, or fat around your internal organs, and so that cuts years of your healthy life, and very often cuts years of your life completely. And also you just store more fat, and your body gets better at storing more fat from your food. So sleeping more, sleeping 8 hours, that's your first step to getting the leanest self without having to count a lot, and also without having to restrict your nutrition that much. So when you sleep well, you can allow yourself more food, and it's going to be more beneficial when it comes to your body composition or body fat percentage, right? So sleep well, 8 hours on a regular basis, regular schedule. Another thing, you need to create some sort of order in your eating habits if you want to lose weight and maintain weight. So eat 3 meals a day, no snacking on regular hours. That's how you create order in your eating habits. The reason why so many people find it hard to manage their weight and to lose weight without counting anything is if you eat 5-6 times a day, some people manage to snack all the time, like every hour, then it's really hard to manage calories, and especially those snack foods that usually are not the healthiest one. It's not like you are snacking on egg whites or something like that. So having a schedule, 3 meals a day usually works for most people on the same schedule, and don't eat outside of that window. And by not eating, I mean don't consume any calories. So that works for many people. So the second step, I would create a schedule and I would stick to the schedule. Now, when it comes to eating, first and foremost, avoid processed foods. Anything that doesn't look like it was whole and it was cooked. Even by processed food, I mean processed carbohydrates also, like pasta, like bread, anything that is not whole, just eliminate it completely, especially for weight loss. But for weight management, it also makes sense if you don't want it to count calories and be worried about putting on pounds. So eliminate processed foods, eliminate processed carbohydrates. And another thing you should eliminate that contributes to a lot of fat, a lot of inflammation, especially visceral fat, vegetable oils, like anything but olive oil, coconut oil, grass fat, butter, grass-fed ghee, fat from animals like ducks and lamb and pork, grass-fed or pastured, so it's organic. It doesn't have any antibiotics and hormones. So you need to eat those healthy fats because, again, they increase inflammation and they will make you put on pounds without you necessarily eating that much. So no processed foods, no processed carbohydrates, no vegetable oils. That's like another step. And then when it comes to meals, make sure then when you eat 3/4, like if you take the volume of your meal, so 3/4 of that plate should be non-starchy vegetables. And now I'm talking about losing weight and also maintaining healthy weight. Being in good shape. So 3/4 of your meal should be green and colorful non-starchy vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, Swiss chard, salads, what else, bell peppers, like all these non-starchy, basically meaning non-potatoes, no beans, no sweet potatoes, no cooked corn, no cooked carrots, no cooked beets. So non-starchy vegetables, 3/4 of your plate at every meal, no matter how big your meal is. And then you should have at each meal, for satiety and for the best body composition, 1 or 2 servings of protein. And by serving, I mean a piece that is somewhere like your palm without fingers. That's the size. So that kind of 1 or 2, usually women would have 1, guys would have 2 protein-rich foods. So it might be a fatty fish, it might be salmon, it also might be 3-4 whole eggs, it might be beef, it might be poultry, it might be chicken, it might be organ meats like chicken liver, it might be beef. So 1 or 2 serving of protein-rich foods. And if you're someone who's trying to maintain weight, on top of that, I would suggest to have 1 handful, that's the serving size, of starchy foods for most of you, unless you're on a keto, unless on a low carb diet. So 1 serving of whole food starchy carbohydrates like sweet potato or maybe beans. Those are the highest in nutrients. So at each meal, 1 handful of starchy foods. If you're someone who is trying to lose weight actively, then probably you should skip the starch and just have your a lot of vegetables, and have your protein that usually comes with healthy fat. And then, you might add some fat, but not a lot. Manage your fat to like maybe a tablespoon of oil, or like olive oil or coconut oil for cooking, maybe half an avocado or quarter an avocado, depending again on how big you are, how active you are. And that's about it. But a lot of you guys, honestly, you will maintain your weight, you will lose weight without any problems when you start sleeping for 8 hours, when you drink 2 liters of water daily, or herbal teas also count as hydration, when you eat those 3 meals, and outside of those 3 meals you don't snack on anything, when you eliminate all the processed foods, especially processed carbohydrates and vegetable oils, and then eat a lot of vegetables, good quality protein, good quality whole foods, fats, some sweet potatoes or something more starchy. If you just have 3 meals like that, you'll be fine. And again, you eliminate all the processed carbs like bread, like pastries, like pizza, like pastas, like added sugars. So you'll do really well. And then if you want to lose weight and eating this way still doesn't allow you to lose weight for some reason, even though again, if you stick to that, most of you guys, give it some time, give it 5-7 days, and you start losing. So if you are not losing on this protocol, then maybe just cut the portions. So, not vegetables, but maybe you're eating too many fats, or maybe you are eating too much protein, like really a lot. But rather than that, it's usually does the trick. And do this consistently and you lose the weight. And especially if you're trying to maintain weight, you have no problem maintaining weight. Why a lot of people, and also eliminate dairy. Dairy products, guys, create a lot of problems, and people tend to eat this food. The quality of dairy in our modern world is really like it's just not good at all. Especially milk, as sugary yogurts, and but even cheeses. Like there are very few brands that do good quality dairy, and even then, your body usually does not recognize it as friendly food source. And I noticed that a lot of my clients, for example, they gain weight eating cheese, or any sort of dairy, and they lose depending like on how much dairy they used to eat. When they eliminate dairy, a lot of people use 4 or 5 pounds just by that, not doing anything else. So eliminate those foods. And again, like most people gain weight because they start eating bread, they start eating sugars, they eat pasta, they eat pizza on a regular basis, and then they snack all the time, and they don't sleep well, and then you gain weight and you can't lose it. So follow this formula. If you need a little bit more of advice, personalized advice, if you need more clarification, or you need advice on your specific situation or meal plan, or whatever have you, just use the link in the show notes, schedule our express session that is totally free and complimentary for you, and people are loving them. A lot of people are scheduling them, and they know after that session where to start and what to work next to get to the next level of their health and weight loss journey. So schedule a session and I can give you personalized advice. But this plan works, guys. Just do it consistently, have a little bit of patience, and do it consistently, and you're gonna see results. And it's gonna be quite easy. You don't have to count anything. Animals in nature don't gain any weight, and because they eat whole foods that promote healthy sense of satiety and hunger, and then they go around their business and they maintain their weight. And so we humans can do the same if we practice the same, having some structure around our meals, eat whole foods mostly, sleep well, hydrate well, and that's it. No need to count calories or macros or carbs or whatever have you been counting. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Schedule your session. I'm going to answer all of your questions and give you more personalized plan. Ask any questions you have anytime. Tomorrow, stay tuned for our food news episode. Usually something interesting, what's going on in food system and our food industry, and then some practical takeaways for you. So stay tuned for that. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.